Okay, Chad, so we got the entry-level job epidemic by Cole Hastings. This is a YouTuber I've never seen before, and this is the thumbnail and title really intrigued me, so I want to check this out with you guys. Let's check it out. We're going to see what the problem is with entry-level jobs. Well, I already know what the problem is. Obviously, in today's world, you really can't get a job. It's really hard to, because all the entry-level jobs on LinkedIn, for example, literally say entry-level job, and then right below it, it says a minimum 5 years plus industry experience every freaking time, dude. It's insane. Anyway, let's check it out. Zoom. Never liked Zoom.
Hey, how's it going? Hey there, my name's Cole. I'm a recruiter
Hi,
at
Cole.
Scaba Incorporated, and I saw that you applied for the role of an entry-level analyst at our company. Yes, I did. I'm excited to get into the interview.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. So I would love to know if you were the right fit for this role. So tell me a bit about yourself.
Legitimate question.
So I graduated with a bachelor's degree from the university. Okay, can you just shut up real quick? Just shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
Great. So we're only looking for candidates with 3 to 5 years of experience for this role.
That's chat. What did I just say? I knew this was gonna. I knew this was gonna be in his skit, man. Because literally, they ask you like, you can have a master's degree for an entry-level job, and why do they even list it as entry level if it's minimum 3 to 5 years experience? I don't understand. I see that all the time on LinkedIn. Tell me you guys see that too, because I literally every job that I tried to apply to before was like, oh, you need like 5. Dude, some of them said 10 years experience. It's insane. I don't get it.
So I need experience for an entry-level job?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. But how can I gain the experience if I don't first get a job?
Exactly.
When all the entry-level jobs require experience? Isn't that what entry-level jobs are for? You're Gen Z, aren't you? I don't know what this has to do with. My boss was right. You really are the most entitled generation ever.
Ah,
I would
Jesus.
hope that exact scenario has never actually happened to any of you, but what I do know is that
It's a little bit exaggerated. No, it's a little bit exaggerated in the skit, obviously, but I swear I had a buddy of mine that literally went through the same thing. It wasn't exactly the same, but like he went through the same thing where he applied for the job, he got to the interview, and he said, okay, I'm here for this entry-level position. And he said, okay, here's my bachelor's degree. Here's what I did. Here's my resume. I don't have much because obviously I just got out of college. I'm ready to get experience though. And then the guy's like, you need you need 3 to 5 years of industry experience, sir. So yeah, he went to the same thing. It was ridiculous.
And an entry-level job, when you don't have the experience those entry-level jobs require, can feel outrageously frustrating. According to Business Insider, for every 1 million listings on Indeed, the share of entry-level roles fell 6.9% between August 2022 and August 2024. At the same time, roughly 35% of jobs labeled entry-level now require 3 or more years of experience.
Wait, let me see those graphs really quick. So we got entry-level jobs, Mirage, a new analyst of LinkedIn job listings from December 2017 through August 2021 shows entry-level positions often demand years of prior experience. Dude, check this out. Oh, yeah, this is true because I've seen it in the IT jobs that I looked for before. Back in the day, software and IT services, 60.3%. Dude, that is insane. Look at that. Entry-level listings asking for 3+ years of experience. If you're a company and watching this video, if you're a corporation, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't list the job as entry level if you're going to ask for 3 or ask for any experience. You can't even ask for 1 year of experience because obviously at that point in time, you have lost the ability to label your job listing as entry level. Don't do that. Look at this design. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, but see, retail makes sense because that doesn't really require much experience right off the bat. Manufacturing, design, education, yeah, the really, really high-paying jobs like these, software, especially software and IT, they require a lot of experience. So there shouldn't be much entry-level job for IT unless you're going into like the help desk work.
Of jobs labeled entry level now require 3 or more years of experience. So what does this mean for the future of the job market? Is everyone without experience stuck in unemployment limbo? And if so,
pretty much,
what needs to change? Let's talk about that.
They need to stop mislabeling their job listings. It's easy.
Entry-level jobs sprouted from a necessity to train unskilled workers in a newly growing economy. At the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, people were moving from farms to cities and from informal labor to structured clock-in, clock-out work. Businesses as we know them today were just as new as the jobs they created, and so they didn't have time or a need to wait around for the perfect candidate. So they hired people with no experience and taught them on the job. Basically, all you needed during the hiring process was a strong determination to learn and some confidence. That was the entire point of an entry-level job, though back then they were just referred to as jobs. For the next couple hundred years or so, the hiring process largely remained the same. Search for a job in the help wanted section of the newspaper, go to a job fair, or get lucky enough to know a guy who knows a guy at that company who will hire you. But then a few massive shifts occurred, starting in the 1980s.
The internet. The internet happened. The internet occurred. That made everything harder. He would just explain how much easier it was to get a job back in the day. Like, you just had to have a suit, put on a tie, have a good handshake, have a good presence, and be able to learn and learn quickly. And that's all you needed, basically, or connections. Now, you got to go through this. You have to try to avoid the AI set bullshit on LinkedIn that literally automatically filters you out if you don't have these certain things. And it's just much more harder to get a job now, especially like entry level people coming out of college. Unless you already found the company before you graduated, like in a job hunting convention, then it's literally like 10% possible to find a job in today's world because of the internet. But we'll see what he says.
And as a result, the ability to get a job with no prior experience diminished significantly. And those shifts were companies' prioritization of shareholder value over quality workers, internet job postings, the pandemic, which sped up everything else listed here, AI automation, and obsolete college degrees.
I just talked about this. First of all, college is a scam. Like, obviously, you just need a degree to prove to the company that you're not an idiot. But AI, I just talked about AI. Literally, they have AI automation to take over jobs people lose jobs because of that. Actually, there's a lot of AI in my field for my position. AI might steal my position, but that's besides the point. So the pandemic obviously happened, which created more work from home jobs and internet-based jobs. Internet obviously changed the job posting space and finding workspace. But I forgot about this one. The prioritization of shareholder value over quality workers. Corporations obviously care most about money and revenue and margins and growth rate. So they're going to prioritize the stakeholders and the shareholders that are in with the company, that literally provide for the company to exist, because they want to please the shareholders and stakeholders most. Besides that's like first on their list compared to the employee quality.
So let's start with shareholder value. I think we all know by now that America is obsessed with profits and productivity. That obsession really kicked into high gear in the late 1970s and early 1980s, fueled by a cultural shift toward shareholder primacy. As Harvard Business Review reporter William Lozanic pointed out, from the end of World War II until the late 1970s, a retain and reinvest approach provided workers with higher incomes and greater job security. This pattern began to break down in the late 1970s, giving way to a downsize and distribute regime of reducing costs and then distributing the freed up cash to financial interests, particularly shareholders. Ironically, this quote comes from a Harvard Law School forum post titled "So Long to Shareholder Primacy." And in that post, they describe how a bunch of CEOs came together to sign some statement that proposed they should focus more on investing in employees and delivering value to customers. But
literally, you should do that.
Look like that's going so well. When you treat labor,
let me see that graph again.
Customers, but it doesn't really look like that's going.
Okay, so CEO realized direct compensation and the SP 500 index. CEO realized direct compensation and the SP 500 index 1965 to 2018. So we got 1970. We got what is this? CEO compensation. Oh, this is their salary. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Look at that, 2,000, huge. What is that, in millions or something, or thousands? And then the SP 500. Yeah, it's going up with the SP 500 index.
Going so well. When you treat labor as a cost to minimize rather than an asset to grow, training new workers becomes an unnecessary expense. Why hire someone fresh out of college and invest in them when you can demand a ready-made employee and offload the cost of development onto the worker? But the funny part is, and this might seem obvious to you, that this line of thinking doesn't even help a company prosper in the long run. In 2016, a study conducted by consulting services provider Accenture found that for every dollar a company spent on reimbursing a Cigna employee's college tuition, the company generated $1.29 in cost savings for retention and talent management.
Interesting.
So by now, companies know the importance of investing in young workers.
Yes.
The question is, why aren't they? Why?
Well, there's one thing, like he just mentioned. It's I don't know if he's going to mention this from now, but I'm about to say something about it. It is much more expensive to hire a new employee than to retain a current employee, because hiring, like, I don't know exactly what the details are, but hiring new employees comes with huge amount of costs, like first of all, the salary, obviously, then the benefits and the health insurance, leave time. There's like a whole list. I need to refresh my memory on this, but basically, giving a raise, like a $10,000 raise to a current employee, is much cheaper than firing that employee or having them quit and then hiring a new employee, because the new employee is going to cost you around $40,000 compared to that $10,000 you could have just given as a raise to the current employee. So yeah, that's why companies don't really hire much new talent.
Why are they still keeping entry-level jobs behind a wall of 3 to 5 years of experience? We'll answer that in a second, but first I want to talk about today's sponsor, David. I find it very hard to be in a caloric deficit while still trying to maintain or build muscle, because I need to keep my protein level high. And as someone who takes their fitness seriously, dude, this is a big problem.
Dude, bro is ripped. Holy crap, dude. What is your routine, man? What is your diet?
Problem for me. I could just eat pounds of beef or chicken, but when I eat those, I'm usually having a full meal, and the calories in that meal can add up pretty quickly.
Yeah, chicken breast is like 250 calories.
They have the highest protein to calorie ratio on the market. It's 150 calories and 28 grams of protein, which is absolutely unheard of in a protein bar. With those macros, I expected it to taste like pure protein chalk, but the blueberry pie one is actually really tasty and masks the taste of protein.
Looks good. Looks
okay. They just came out with a new cinnamon roll flavor, which I destroyed faster than I would have liked to. If you're someone trying to lose weight and keep the calories down, but keep the protein up and do that in a very easy, convenient way, you should definitely try out David. You can get a whole carton entirely for free when you order 4 or more by clicking on the first link in my description box below, or you can scan that QR code that you see on screen right now. Now let's move on.
So actually, the only thing I have a problem with that is that usually protein bars really taste terrible, like in terms of sugar, because they don't use real sugar. They use like sucralose or aspartame, which is actually cancer causing. So I don't know or stevia or something. I don't know what is used in the David bar for sugar, but it depends on what is used, or I would probably buy it depending on what the ingredients for the sweetener.
Move on to the next big contributor of the entry-level apocalypse that helps us answer our questions. Internet job postings. When platforms like Indeed and LinkedIn became popular, apply maxing became the new meta. Suddenly, applicants were now able to filter for job type, experience, company, and reviews, instantly upload their resume, and hit apply. And as a result, companies often receive as many as 1,000 applications per day.
Yeah.
That volume completely changed how hiring works. Before online platforms, companies had to actually interact with people. They had to host job fairs, interview candidates in person, and
they had to actually do work, chat.
But now, hiring is more of a numbers and filtering game. And what's one of the easiest ways to do that? You slap on a 3 to 5 years of experience requirement, even if the job doesn't actually need it. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, to give some background here, chat, I actually, in my older job, they made me sift through resumes of new people. And the first thing they said to do was like, cross out everybody who doesn't have this. Okay, so I just did that. Boom, boom, boom. They're gone. Before the AI automation, they had me do it. But yeah, it's true. Like they just get, I understand, because they get thousands of applications per day. They need a way to filter through it, but it's just gotten to a point where like the filter is too crazy. They need to back off of the filter a bit, because it's just literally just killing everybody's chance of getting a job. Because I don't know what,
at least don't put the entry level 3 years experience. That it doesn't make any sense. It's an oxymoron. Okay, you can't say entry and then have years of experience required. Just at least get rid of that, and then I'd be fine with the AI automation probably.
Way companies can simplify this hiring process that often leaves entry-level workers in the dust is a software that I went over in my fake job epidemic video, applicant tracking systems, or ATS for short. These systems are basically digital bouncers. You upload your resume thinking a human will see it, but in reality, a robot scans it first. If your resume doesn't match a certain format, lacks specific keywords, or just doesn't look the way the algorithm expects, it gets rejected before it ever lands in front of a hiring manager. And here's where it ties back.
Yeah, that bitch is getting slapped by a robot.
To the 3 to 5 years thing. If you're a company that is getting sent hundreds, if not thousands of applications for every role, you need filters. So what do? You set a minimum experience requirement, not because it's necessary, but because it helps your system shrink the pool. The thing is, I don't even think companies want to do this as a solution. They're just trying to adapt to an increasingly competitive applicant pool. And that sort of adaptability is now backfiring. According to SIOP and a joint Harvard Business School Accenture study, a significant majority, 88% of employers believed that qualified high-skills candidates were vetted out of the process because they did not match the exact criteria established by the job description.
That's only 22%.
And that number rose to 94% in the case of middle skills workers.
Are you kidding?
So now not only 6%? Do you need 3 to 5 years of experience for an entry-level job, but you also need to guess the exact keywords for your resume in order to get past the gates.
This is true. Like, there's actually this is so stupid because I've seen tools online now that get past the AI automation, whatever it was, ATS, or I forget what he said, automation systems. There's tools to help you get around that by selecting certain keywords to put in your resume or certain keywords to exclude from your resume. It's called keyword exclusion list and keyword inclusion list. It's used a lot nowadays.
The platforms made job listings more accessible, sure, but they also empowered employers to pad their descriptions with experience lines that act as thinning tools, not as reflections of actual need. And all of this got even worse after the next big shift, the pandemic. In the early weeks of COVID, about 27 million workers lost their jobs, with bottom quintile lower wage workers hit 6 times harder than those at the top. New grads and less experienced folks were the first to get wiped out, but when companies started restaffing, they didn't bounce back widely. They looked for experience they already had. A 2021 survey from NACE found that hiring for interns and co-op students dropped, only marginally for interns, but co-ops took a bigger hit, as many roles were paused, canceled, or moved online. A Business Insider article also reinforces this point, citing how companies had very strong preferences to hire people who were more standalone and who they felt wouldn't require as much oversight because everyone is working remotely. Employers that have the benefit of remote work may also utilize it to hire experienced workers with entry-level pay. As the managing director in the Business Insider article puts it, maybe you don't have to take a shot on a fresh college grad or someone that has 1 year of experience because someone has 5 years experience and will be willing to take that same amount of pay because they can sit in their own home. Now, internships are meant to be the key to getting past the new entry-level experience barrier. Most of the time, when companies say they're looking for an entry-level employee with 3 to 5 years of experience, they don't just mean that you are working for pay. They want to know that you've been doing and using the relevant skills in a professional setting for 3 to 5 years. But because of the pandemic, not only did hiring for interns drop, but also the number of internships. Holy
hell, dude. Look at that. 52% decline in internship openings since early March. Look at that. In a month and a half, it's boom. It's just dead, man. That's insane.
Openings dropped significantly, a 52% decrease according to Glassdoor. And while they did see a significant jump following the years after the pandemic, the latest data shows that internship postings have
just never recovered
below 2019 levels.
You just can never recover.
Then, on top of all of that, another seismic shift is happening. AI and automation. Now, we've been hearing about robots taking jobs for decades, but what's really changed is what AI is actually capable of now. We're no longer just talking about machines replacing factory workers. We're talking about entry-level white-collar work like customer service, scheduling, data entry, content generation, even writing resumes being handed off to software. A Goldman Sachs analysis estimated that up to 300 million full-time jobs globally, including admin, legal, and basic tech roles, are exposed to some degree of AI automation. That means that many of the gigs people formerly used to get their foot in the door are being taken over by software. I don't know about you guys, but the AI automation threat has felt especially pertinent in like the last month or so.
Dude, I'm so tired of that AI bullshit I see on YouTube all the time. I'm on YouTube Shorts is an AI voice. Everything's AI generated. And also, Mr. Beast isn't helping by advertising his YouTube thumbnail AI-based thumbnail creator. That is not helping, and nobody likes that, to be honest. But yeah, it's true, because like in my company, I think we have a bunch of AI tools now, and it's literally taking over everything. I think by like 2030, my own job will be taken over by AI, probably. Because it's getting to a point that it's so smart that it could literally do anything. Have you seen this? Have you seen the VO3, Google's VO3 or whatever, the video generation tool? That it's so insane. I can barely tell the difference between real life and the VO3. I mean, if somebody's a really good prompt writer, it's really hard to tell the difference. And that's about to be free for the public pretty soon here too. It's just crazy how much AI has evolved over time, right, Chad? I mean, this is insane.
Feels like everybody on social media is talking about it, and then Trump cutting costs, which is wiping out jobs in government agencies, nonprofits, and public health, is certainly starting to make it all feel pretty real. Along with, of course, the massive tech layoffs that seem to constantly be happening, because any
Xbox lost 9,000 people.
Development roles can just easily be done by AI now. Which now leads me to the last barrier of entry-level jobs. Obsolete college degrees.
College degrees, man.
It should be obvious by now, but the fact is, college does not offer the same sort of labor benefits as it did 15 years ago. According to research by the San Francisco Federal Reserve, 2010 marked a turning point when the lifetime earnings gap between college grads and high school graduates stopped widening, even slightly declining in some cases. In Strata's recent Talent Disrupted report, only about half of bachelor's grads land a college-level job within a year after graduation, and a whopping 52% remain underemployed. Along with that, degree inflation is starting to implode. The Burning Glass Institute's Emerging Degree Reset showed that between 2017 and 2019, 46% of middle skill and 31% of high skill jobs dropped their college degree requirement.
Jesus.
In short, companies are saying that a diploma isn't enough of a reason to hire you. Major employers like IBM
not when
Google,
I
and
joined.
Delta have officially removed degree requirements for certain roles, admitting that specific skills and real-world abilities matter more than the piece of paper. So what does that mean when jobs demand 3 to 5 years of experience? They mean proof that you can get stuff done today, not that you sat in a classroom for 4 years. If your degree didn't give you an internship, portfolio, or real-world skills, you might as well have no degree at all. And because of that,
yeah, screw that art school degree, man. That's not going to get you anywhere. And degrees, my degree has nothing to do with my current job at all. Everything I learned myself or off of YouTube. The university has literally taught me nothing. It's actually insane. I got good grades though, but like it just gave me a job. Literally amounted to nothing in experience in the experience spectrum. Literally everything I learned was by my own volition.
And the current internship opportunity problem, we are experiencing the largest gap between the overall unemployment rate and the unemployment rate for people who recently graduated from college in the last 40 years. So if you're wondering why so many young people feel stuck, it's not laziness, it's not entitlement, it's that the very pathways that were supposed to help them get started were quietly taken away from them and never fully brought back. With all that said, I gotta bring it to this question. What can we do? Or more specifically, what can you do in this job market? I'm not going to sit here and pretend you can just grind harder and then magically bypass a system that's designed to keep you out. That's not how this works. But the truth is, we need both personal strategy and systemic change. Let's start with some good news. A growing number of states like Maryland, Pennsylvania, Utah, Alaska, and New Jersey have removed 4-year degree requirements for thousands of public sector jobs. And that's on top of what I already mentioned about a lot of these other big employers removing the college degree requirements from a lot of their roles. Now, would I still recommend that you go to college? I think that if you go to a public college or you get a really nice scholarship and you don't put yourself horribly into debt and somehow your degree gives you opportunities in real world experiences like internships or stuff like that, stuff you can put into a portfolio, then I would say, yeah, it's probably going to be worth it. But it's nice to know that.
Do not get yourself into try everything possible to limit the amount of debt you incur or just get rid of it entirely. Do not go to expensive school. Do not eat at the school. Like, don't get a meal card. Don't get a meal plan. Do not live at the school if possible. Even living, if you can't commute from home, don't live on campus. Live in an apartment. Do not live on the school grounds. Do not eat there. Do not get hand-me-down books. Do everything you can to not incur debt, because that is going to kill you in the end. The student debt. It's insane. I have a friend that has like $100,000 student debt, and they're going to be paying it off for the rest of their life, like $500 a month. It's insane. The worst thing you can do is get student debt, go to a cheap school, or don't even go to like a trade school. I mean, or a community college and get a degree there. Don't go to Harvard, because because the stereotype it's smart. Okay, I went to a cheap school. It was literally like, okay, schools are really expensive. I think the whole 4 years plus I studied abroad. Okay, but I worked my ass off to get scholarships. The whole thing was like $60,000 for 4 years. That is cheap for today's standards. That is really cheap, and that's not a college. That's not a community college. That's an actual university. And that included the study abroad I took to Japan for a year. Luckily, I got a scholarship that half that cost, pretty much. But yeah, get scholarships, write essays, and try to find a school that's not going to cost more than $100,000 for 4 years.
States and big companies are already adapting to this skills-based hiring. Now, if you're still having trouble finding those internship opportunities and you do or don't have a degree and you want to show that you have skills, what do? Well, I think having proof that you understand how to solve problems in the real world and you have these skills through a portfolio website is pretty much necessary at this point. No, you're not going to get paid for all the work that you do. You'll be doing projects that will be difficult for
make a portfolio on your website.
Time. But it's clear that you got to show these companies that you know what you're doing.
You can do it for free with WordPress. You just have to have that in the title of the website.
Another great way to pad on that experience companies look for is through alternative credentials. A 2022 SHRM learning study found that 88% of executives and 76% of supervisors believe these credentials are as good or better than traditional degrees for some roles. Programs like Google Career Certificates, Coursera, and Skillstorm are gaining more credibility, especially in IT, project management, and data analytics. And if I could give one final tip, honestly, some of y'all just need to lie on your resume.
Dude, just lie.
If you want more opportunities and you believe you're confident.
Honestly, just lie. It doesn't matter. If you worked 3 years at your previous job, put 5. Write 5 on your resume. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, everybody lies. It's anything you have to do to get the job, lie.
Confident enough to pass interviews and succeed in a role right out of college or just with no experience, just set up your resume so that these systems will approve them and go from there. I really do hope the job hiring system fixes itself so people don't have to resort to this, and I'm not saying everyone should, but if companies are going to be lazy in their searching process, then you should be too. At the moment, this system is... If
companies are going to be lazy, like he just said, you could be lazy too and lie on your resume. Fuck it. Fuck them. If they're not gonna meet you halfway, then don't meet them halfway. Fuck it.
Clearly failing, but the people and policies pushing for skills first change seems to be a good sign of progress outside of the alternative, which is to fix college degrees to actually teach things that are valuable to these companies in the modern market. In the Future of Jobs report for 2025, the World Economic Forum found that the top core skills that companies are looking for in 2025 are all related to critical thinking. It's analytical thinking, creative thinking, and technological literacy. The problem is, what sort of resources actually exist out there that teach you proper critical thinking skills, especially in a modern digital landscape that's constantly trying to rage bait you and make you emotionally charged and keep us divided? Well, that's exactly why for the past year I've been working on creating a critical thinking masterclass.
Oh, nice.
A 16-video curriculum designed to help you sharpen your reasoning, spot manipulative rhetoric, and navigate emotionally charged conversations both online and in real life. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can go to cole-hastings.com/critical thinking. It's one of the first links in the description, and you will be signing up for my waitlist, and you'll also get a lesson from me before the actual masterclass drops. If you have any other ideas on how we could improve this shitstorm, or you just have a funny story about you getting rejected from an entry-level job, I would love to hear them in the comments. And if you like this video, you'll probably like the related video about the fake job epidemic.
The fake job epidemic. We have to watch that next chat, maybe.
Jobs and how
or some other time.
Are plaguing the job market right now. And yeah, don't spiral into doomerism. If you watch those, there's still, we're going to figure things out eventually. And yeah, I'm going. Goodbye.
Dude, okay, that was a really good video. Man, I've never seen a video from this guy, Cole Hastings. Man, you guys go subscribe to him. I'm not logged in. I'm on incognito window. Subscribe to him, like the video, and go check out Cole Hastings here. I'll put the link in the description in the video that I make for YouTube. The entry-level job epidemic. Really good video by Cole Hastings, guys. Man, it really sucks today. It's true, because like you need 5 years of experience to get an entry-level job. So obviously, if they're going to do that on the job listing, just lie. Just say, yeah, I have 4 years of experience in the university learning skills, okay? Or whatever. Do whatever you have to do to get a job. Getting a job and getting money to put food on the table and paying the bills is more important than your moral standards of lying, okay? Anyway, if you like the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe. We have memberships too, but it's always free to subscribe. If you want to check out the join button on the channel page, go check that out. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/AugieG as well. And yeah, go check out Cole Hastings. Yeah, anyway, thanks guys.